Funding provided by Fairway Meat and Grocery is a proud sponsor of the Iowa Girls State Softball Championships. Fairway believes in supporting the places Iowans learn, work, live, and play. Congratulations to all the schools and student athletes in this year's games. By Musco Lighting, the sports lighting specialists, providing lighting systems for you, your project, and your community. The Des Moines River in Fort Dodge flows through town, and it looks like it's a beautiful Sunday or summer afternoon because it is. We're at the Harlan and Rogers Sports Complex on the north side of Fort Dodge. It's time for the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Softball Championships. Today, it's Class 2A. It's number 1, North Linn, the only undefeated team left in the field, and the Ogden Bulldogs in this Class 2A championship to end the 2020 campaign. Hello, everybody. Along with Laura Leonard, I'm Paul Yeager. North Linn defending champs in Class 2A. Laura, Ogden, they feature one of the best players in all classes, and she's a home run threat, and she's not too bad as a pitcher either.
Well, and I think both of these teams, we saw pitchers duel in the first game. I think we're going to see some home runs hit in this game. North Linn hit 5 in their semifinal game, tournament record. And as you had mentioned, Denali Lecker, home run hitter as well for Ogden. This ball may be flying out of the park here today in this game.
The Ogden Bulldogs are under the coaching of Mike Moses, and they got here in their 5th trip to state, 2nd straight. So they've learned a little bit from that previous trip. 7 seniors have led the way, and they have picked up the batting order around Denali, and that has been a huge key. She is a future Iowa Hawkeye. She bats a team's best .553 when she gets a chance. She's been walked 7 times in this tournament. North Linn, sound familiar? Yes, they've played in the state championship in this sport, and they also won the state basketball championship. This is a very athletic squad with a pair of twins. Let's now introduce the players.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, softball fans. Welcome to Rogers Sports Complex and this 2A championship game between the visiting team, the Ogden Bulldogs, and the home team, the North Linn Lynx. Let's meet the non-starters and assistant coaches. First of all, for the visitors from Ogden. Number 4, Reagan Cruz. Number 10, Elise Tremblay. Number 11, Lily Ferguson. Number 18, Emma Moorman. Number 21, Kayla Fiffner. And number 44, Ryan Shipley. Your assistant coaches, Thana Heller and Reed Smith. Now, here's your starting lineup for the Ogden Bulldogs. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 8, Meredith Adrian. Batting second and doing the pitching, number 5, Denali Lecker. Batting third in center field, number 25, Jenna Palmer. Cleanup hitter for the Bulldogs, the designated player, number 20, Reagan Church. Batting fifth at first base, number 40, Hannah Dutcher. Batting sixth at third base, number 24, Gabby Ross. Batting seventh and doing the catching, number 12, Faith Moore. Batting eighth in left field, number 3, Lauren Kennedy. And batting in the 9th position, the second baseman, number 1, Amber Braniff. Your flex player in right field, number 9, Helena Nelson. Head coach for the Ogden Bulldogs, Mike Moses. Now let's meet your non-starters and assistant coaches for the home team from North Linn. Number 3, Maddie Stepanik. Number 7, Elise Ware. Number 12, Sydney Smock. Number 13, Ellie Flanagan. Number 14, Evelyn Robinson. And number 25, Addison Sierra. your assistant coach, Taylor Henderson. Now here's your starting lineup for the North Linn Lynx. Leading off and playing center field, number 5, Hannah Bridgewater. Batting second in left field, number 22, Katie Sommerfelt. Batting third and doing the pitching, number 18, Abby Flanagan. Cleanup hitter for the Lynx, the catcher, number 1, Grace Flanagan. Batting fifth at shortstop, number 19, Jill Smith. Batting sixth at first base, number 10, Ray Van Milligan. Batting seventh at third base, number 2, Natalie Gallery. Batting eighth, the designated player, number 15, Jenna Lemley. Batting in the ninth position, the second baseman, number 17, Skylar Benish. Your flex player in right field, number 4, Olivia Rausch. Head coach for the North Linn Lynx, Marv Porter. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the home plate area. Our umpiring crew, as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union for this 2A championship game. At first base, Jason Lewis. At third base, Jody Relenga. And calling the balls and strikes this afternoon, Jason Slater. Are you ready for championship softball?
Well, Mark Porter's been at this a while. This is his last game, and this is his last defensive lineup that he is sending out into the field today. Caitlin Sommerfeld, Hannah Bridgewater, and Olivia Rausch in left, center, and right. At third, Natalie Gallery, Jill Smith, Skylar Benish, and Ray Van Milligan at first. The battery, they know each other a little bit. In fact, they've known each other for a long time. The twin sisters of Abby and Grace Flanagan. Abby's older by 10 minutes, Laura. She is in the circle, and she is really good.
She is really good and has a lot of different pitches, and they are just a great battery. They work so well together, obviously. They've known each other their entire life.
One over the other. Abby this year, 17-0, including a no-hitter in the quarterfinal game through 94 innings. She's 143 strikeouts this season. Opponents batting a .03, and her ERA is a minuscule 0.37. And the order that she'll face is a team that is full of seniors and full of ones around Denali Lecker. We'll start with Adrienne, then Lecker, then Palmer, Reagan Church, Hannah Dutcher, Gabby Ross, the third base person, Faith Moore behind the plate, Lauren Kennedy in left, and Amber Braniff in second. It's going to be about who can do what for Ogden, Laura.
Well, their keys are they have to play relaxed and confident, and they have been playing that way, and they know they have to pick it up and accept the challenge because they know Lecker's going to get walked, and they have to be able to pick it up throughout the lineup.
And for North Linn?
They need to take advantage of opportunities. If Ogden opens the door, take advantage of it. If there's a walk or an error, just try to capitalize on that and then hit spots consistently. Be in and around the plate. Make the hitters hit your pitch.
First pitch at 5:08 is a ball from Abby Flanagan. Flanagan last year at this time, not 100% sure what she wanted to do. She knew she wanted to play at the next level. In the offseason, she was able to commit to play at DMAC. And sometimes when that decision comes, Laura, it's one that weighs on a player. Then once it's behind you, you can focus on the year.
And that's exactly what you have to do. Put it behind you, go through the process, and then really focus in on what you want to do for your last year.
She falls behind 3-0 to Adrienne. 3 balls. Adrienne, one of those seniors. 3-0 is a strike. Ogden in the all-black uniforms. The Bulldog blue and Ogden in white in cursive on the front of the uniforms. Ogden about 45 miles south of here. The 3-1 is chopped towards short. Smith over to Van Milligan, out number 1.
That potentially, that hole at bat could have started a rally for Ogden because she went 3-0 on the hitter, and Adrian, she puts her on. Then you have Lecker coming up with somebody on. Do you walk her? Most teams have walked her and put her on, and then you have 2 runners on and nobody out.
In 8 plate appearances, that's the first time she's been able to swing the bat. And coaches would tell you that's why you sometimes pitch to that player, as Lecker pops it up in foul territory, and Van Milligan makes the catch.
Well, you touched on it. She's been walked 7 times here in this tournament, and she scored 4 runs. So every time they've put her on, she's come around to score. That tells you that the rest of the team that hits behind her and around her, they know the challenge. That was the key. Know what the challenge is, accept the challenge. If they walk our home run hitter, then we have to pick up the slack, and they've done that all season.
The pitch to Jenna Palmer is a strike, and it's evened up at a ball and a strike. And sometimes a team, when they had that experience at the state level one year, they're like, okay, we made it behind a good player, but we need to have as solid of a lineup, the 1-1 as swung on and missed as you can. And Lecker is a difference maker. And it's been up to Jenna Palmer. Coach Moses says she has been huge this year for us in making teams pay when they walk. Denali. That pitch is high.
Well, that's what you have to do. If you know you're hitting behind that hitter and they're going to pitch around her or just intentionally put her on, she's going to get some pitches to hit, and she's taking advantage of that.
Chopper towards right. Couple extra bounces. The 8th grader Benish over to Van Milligan. Ogden goes 1-2-3 in the first. So now the Bulldogs will go out into the field as North Linn will go collect their bats and helmets and get ready to hit against this defensive lineup, which is Lauren Kennedy, Jenna Palmer, and Helena Nelson. Gabby Ross at third, Meredith Adrian at short, Braniff at second, and Hannah Dutcher at first. The catcher is Faith Moore, and the pitcher is Denali Lecker. She's 19-2 on the season, 148 strikeouts. Opponents batting 186, and her ERA is 1.45. She is going into the Big Ten, and she's going to pitch and she's going to hit. She wants to do them both, so that was important to her. And this is the lineup she'll face: Hannah Bridgewater, Caitlin Sommerfeld, Abby Flanagan, Grace Flanagan, Jill Smith, Ray Van Milligan, Gallery Lemley, and Benish. In the consolation game, Louisa Muscatine knocked out Northeast 8-0. That game has completed. To our right, to the east, we're on Diamond 1. Championship Diamond, Laura. North Linn, they know the way to win a state championship. Let's see what they do here in their first at-bat.
Well, they certainly have the experience, so you would believe that they are calm, ready to go, know what they need to do to win the title.
Bridgewater, a .522 hitter. And that pitch from Lecker is a strike. She's up 0-2. We'll look at Lecker in a little bit in her super slow-mo feature coming up later. That'll be kind of a fun one to see.
Yeah, that's going to be when you break it down and see it in slow motion and see the mechanics of both of these pitchers. I think you're going to see the reason that they're so good, and it's because they do have the good mechanics, the good arm whip, the good push off, the good spin, the drop ball right there that worked away from the leadoff hitter.
Bridgewater is out on strikes on the swing and miss for the first out. So Caitlin Sommerfeld will bat after watching that at-bat of Bridgewater.
That's a ball that is down in the zone, and you, as a hitter, have to be disciplined to let that one go. It was out of the zone, but she offered at it and records the first out.
Sommerfeld offers. The junior has scored 35 runs this season. She's 2 for 3 against Ridgeview and 2 for 3 against Northeast. She's trying to go 2 for 3 in this championship game, and she fouls that pitch behind.
We see what she can do from the left side. The first pitch, she tried to run up on it, bunt it. Now she swings away. The defense is going to have to adjust a little bit. They are playing in a few steps, knowing that she does have the speed, that she can lay it down, handles the bat really well, and can make a snap decision when that pitch is coming to her.
That is a called third strike on Sommerfeld.
Couldn't make a split-second decision on that pitch. It got to her in a hurry, right, let her high. She tried to crouch down, but it was in the zone for strikeout number 2.
Abby Flanagan will bat.
Stay out of the box for a minute, okay? Catcher love, you know. How you doing, buddy? You all right?
I think Moore took one off the top of the shoe tops, and you can hear home plate umpire Jason Slater talking to her, giving her a little time to recuperate from that glancing blow.
1 strike.
Lecker has her pitch. Goes up high on Flanagan. This is one of those premier matchups right here, hitter and pitcher. These next 2 batters for North Linn are good hitters. Abby now gets ahead as that one goes low. So Lecker going all over the zone here, trying to hit some of those spots and corners, kind of test the strike zone, see where it is. Swung on and missed.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
Well, she will throw a lot of different pitches. We've seen her down in the zone, up in the zone. She does have a change, but she feels like her drop ball is her best pitch, and we've seen that a couple of times.
There's a little bit disagreement on what pitch is her best. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Well hit by Flanagan, punched to right for a base hit. Boy, that ball came in and went out in a hurry. The 2-out hit for Abby Flanagan brings in Grace.
Well, that's what you get when you get power against power.
Time.
Good job of staying with those hands back, keeping the weight back, and then driving the ball, taking it to right field, and we now get the courtesy runner for Abby Flanagan.
Evelyn Robinson. Pencil that one in.
14 with the pitcher or the catcher? Pitcher. And the number was 14. 14?
Yep.
Okay, we got that in the first inning. Thank you.
So Robinson is
14.
a freshman. And there you heard the
Courtesy.
exchange between Marv Porter and Jason Slater, as both the umpire and the coach are mic'd up. I get a little lazy sometimes because I just sit and listen to them. Oh, that's right, I gotta say something, don't I?
Ball.
Not when they're speaking. I lay out. I'm told to lay out and let them talk. And like last game, there was a good exchange there. We hadn't really listened to the coaches too much. There just wasn't a lot of opportunity in that fast-moving game. The 1-0 pitch to Grace is a ball. And here's what I'm looking forward to most, Laura, is I'm looking to hear one of those Marvisms. He's famous for these sayings with the team.
I think that's a good meaning.
Well, he's been around a long time, and, you know, you get coaches that have been around the business a long time. It's kind of like the Yogi Berra-isms that just come out of their mouth, and you just look at him and you go, you really said that? And then it sticks around for a while. You know, it becomes a saying.
Apparently this year it's do the little things. There's nothing harmful in that one. That's a pretty harmless statement. The 1-2 coming to Grace Flanagan. Up in the zone, swings right through it, and that's the 3rd out. All 3 outs. Lecker strikes out the side.
That one up in the zone, that's the one that you have a hard time laying off of. If you're a hitter, you see that right in your eyes, and you know in your mind you can just drive that out of the park.
Okay.
I got all inside.
Okay. Just be ready. Let's go.
Yeah.
You can all hit her. Let's go. Go get it.
All right, here's on 3, 1, 2, 3, hits!
And to say that Coach Moses, I mean, yeah, it only says 16 years. He's been coaching a lot longer than that and has been around athletics, and he's coached at pretty much every level. And how they got here, this is how the Class 2A field sorted out this season. North Linn knocked out Ridgeview, and Central Springs was downed by Northeast. And then Louisa Muscatine with a one-hitter in that ball game, but Ogden knocked out Mount Ayr. And then Ogden scored 4 runs in the 6th to send out Louisa Muscatine, and then North Linn was able to set a 2A tournament record for most home runs in a game, and then set the whole tournament with 5 home runs and a 10-1 win over Northeast. We talked about that a little bit ago. So any home run that North Linn hits is going to be added to that total. The home run has changed this game. There was a discussion this week, Laura, about, you know, maybe the fence needs to go out a little bit. The small ball is, it's either even the parks seem small. Here it's 200. A lot of these fields are 180. That extra 20 feet means a lot.
Well, I think the way that the athletes now get in the weight room, they do it a little bit differently than the softball players that came before them. And they're stronger, they're bigger, they have better mechanics. I mean, now it's all analytics and how do you do things, how do you get the launch angle and bat speed, and there's a lot of things that come into play with hitting. And maybe it wouldn't be a bad thing to move the fences back another, I don't know, what are we, 200 here?
200.
Back to 210, 220 maybe down the lines, and bump that center field out a little bit further.
Reagan Church is down 1-2. Swings through it for strike 3. First strikeout of the game for Abby Flanagan. Well, we still see the fundamental is on pitching as we get a look at that strike 3. But it's still about putting the ball in play. Bunt, saw it in the last game, teams trying to get that bunt down. North Linn hasn't had to do a lot of small ball in this run. They've just hit and found gaps.
You know, and it was interesting talking with Grace Flanagan after the semifinal game, and just asked, you know, what was different? Why the power explosion? And she said, you know, being behind the plate, she realized catching that first half inning that the strike zone was going to be very tight. And she was able to let the team know, hey, here's where they're going to get the calls. This is where the pitcher's going to have to put the ball. And we know it's going to be in that zone, so swing away and hit through that zone. And they did. And she said now on the reverse side, Abby got a little frustrated with strike zone because she wasn't maybe getting all the calls that she thought she should. And she said, I know when to go out and talk to her, and I know when to stay back behind the plate. But I thought that was interesting that, you know, picking that up, being behind the plate, really figuring out where that zone was right away in the first half inning, and then letting her teammates know about it.
There's a look at Grace. She too going to DMAC, but she is going to do something different. She's going to play a different sport. She's going to play basketball.
Well, several of these players were on that state championship basketball team not too long ago, just a few short months ago, and an opportunity to follow up that state title in basketball with a state title in softball. You've got some athletes here that had to make a decision on what they wanted to pursue after high school.
Dutcher draws the 1-out walk, and that'll bring in Gabby Ross, the senior, playing third. Coach Moses is hoping that, you know, this tournament Gabby Ross can break out. I just need her to get that bat going, and it worked. Against Louisa Muscatine, she had 2 RBIs, and they won by 2. So you could say she was a difference maker in that game. Smacks it out of play to the right side.
I think everybody up and down this Ogden lineup has had to be a difference maker, and knowing that Lecker, more often than not throughout this entire season, is going to get the free pass to first base. And so they've taken it upon themselves to say, okay, go ahead and put her on, because you know what? We're going to drive her around. And they have done that here in this tournament so far. Every time she's gotten on, with the exception of one time, Lecker has come around to score.
And I know you were looking for that stat in the book of how many times. That's just not one of those analytics that's kept, at least at the high school level, on a consistent basis. You'd have to dig on all those intentional passes before they score. Right now, Abby Flanagan is up 1-2 on Gabby Ross. Change up, rise, change. What was that? That looked more, it started change up, but then the way it went, it looked more rise ball that just missed.
I think it was rise ball and just got out of the zone. And good patience at the plate by Ross.
Swings at it and gets past third. It gets past Gallery in the left field where Sommerfeld throws it in. And the Bulldogs have 2 aboard with 1 out.
Now that was an off-speed pitch that she went down almost just ankle level and able to slip it between shortstop and third.
Again, being able to recognize what that pitch is. Let's see what Faith Moore can do here. Smacks it. That's going to get down, and that's going to likely score the game's first run. Chugging around to score is Dutcher. Into third is Ross. And Faith Moore has a RBI double to break the scoring drought.
This whole team has just confidently gone to the plate, not been intimidated. Good job at the plate, brought the hands in to get the big part of the bat through the zone, makes great contact, finds the gap.
Moore gets a hand from the blue and black fans, and going in to run for her is Reagan Cruzy. So Cruzy and...
Hey, we're good. Here we go. Here we go. Right.
As the quick conference in the circle is done for North Linn, and Lauren Kennedy will face Abby Flanagan here. Flanagan didn't even know she'd given up a hit in that no-hitter until I said, what'd you think of throwing a no-hitter at state? She goes, what? She didn't even know. She said, I don't look at that stuff. When you're in a zone like that, especially when you're throwing a no-hitter, Laura, you are in a zone because clearly something's working. There could be pink dinosaurs all around, and you wouldn't see them if you're pitching as well as she was.
No, and that's the kind of focus that you have to have, and that's what she needs to have here in this inning now to get them out of this jam.
And pink dinosaurs, by the way, would be on message for the
Correct.
Union. But there are dinosaurs in the North Linn dugout.
Right.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. I guess when I have a certain word in the back of my head, you never know what the word sandwich that gets put together. That one slapped, fielded in fair territory, thrown wide at first. Ross is going to score. They're going to hold Cruzy at third. They got her hung up, but they'll just chase her back and make her dive in. Lauren Kennedy went the other way with the slap.
We were second and third.
That ball sails on Gallery. She did the right thing. She turned and looked the runner back, and then that ball sailed. And that allows one run to score, and Coach Moses was...
So who's this girl?
She was the one that was on first. So we're good.
It was second and third.
It was second and third.
both runs scored.
So she
She
needs
needs
to
to go,
score.
but she stays at 2.
Correct.
Yep,
Correct.
Yep.
They're going to send Cruzy home.
Are they going to say the ball went into the that went to the out area? They must have went into the camera well.
The ball went in the media box.
It went into the media box. You hear Jason Slater explain that to the catcher what happened. So Ross scores. Moore stays at second. Hit or an error. So Gallery, it was off from the get-go. And then, yep, there it is, right into the, and that is an area drawn. Just might well make that a wall. First pitch to Braniff is swung on and missed. So now Ogden has scored 3 runs as Kennedy is at second. Swung on and missed by Braniff. She's a .235 hitter, 9th batter. 6th Bulldog to bat here in the second. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, and Braniff is out. Second out of the inning, second strikeout of the inning for Flanagan.
That's exactly what North Linn needed. Rise ball up in the zone, able to shut down Braniff. It's what they needed. Perfect pitch at the perfect time to try to get them out of this mess.
Top of the lineup for Ogden, Meredith Adrian. .397 hitter on the season, 8 RBIs. Her job is to get on base in that leadoff spot. Some coaches put their best hitter in that leadoff spot. This one is get her on and get her over and hope the girl sitting on deck can maybe hit her around, either easily or as part of a double.
When you have all different kinds of table setters in your lineup, and this is not the speedy one, the one that gets on and steals bases, but she just gets on. She knows how to get on in front of Denali Lecker. And it's going to be interesting if she gets walked here. Because then do you go ahead and pitch to Lecker, or do you load him up?
Called strike on 3-0.
3 balls, 1 strike.
And they kind of did this cat and mouse game in their first at bat with Adrian. And it resulted in a ground out to shortstop.
Flanagan.
Hey, Jason, did she swing?
They check with the first base umpire, no swing, so Adrian is on.
We'll get another look and see that ball's in the dirt. And it looks like she did hold back. She kept those wrists strong.
And they're gonna pitch to Lecker. First pitch, swung on, left field, all the way to the wall. A run's gonna score. Heading to third, the throw, not in time. Lecker, a double, scores another run. 4-0 Ogden. She just smacked it, Laura.
You know, we're finally getting a chance to see her swing the bat. And that's a reason you can see the bat speed, the level, the eye level change, and how she adjusted in that bat and just hits a rope down the line.
9th Ogden batter this inning is Jenna Palmer, and Flanagan gets ahead with a 1-strike pitch. 4-4-0 for Ogden. 0-1-1 for North Linn. Speed goes high, throw down to third, not in time.
Hey, way to play the game.
Adrian gets back. Good throw there by Grace.
1-1.
Maybe thinking the Bulldogs were a little too aggressive there and wanted to catch him sleeping.
Well, and I think North Linn's trying to make that play, too, to get out of the inning as well. So a lot of confidence on the Bulldogs side of the field. So, yeah, you can gamble a little bit. You can be aggressive. And North Linn just trying to get out of it.
Flanagan's just going right after Palmer.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
You can't really tell off of Abby's face if she's up 4 or down 4. That pitch goes. A lot of times those players with the, the steal emotions, you can't tell. That's the same look she had when she was throwing the no-hitter the other night.
Well, and that's a sign of a good pitcher, just trying to keep it together, not letting her emotions get the best of her, and she's asking her sister, hey, where was that pitch? Will you ask the umpire? Was it a little too low, a little too high? Where in the zone, right, left? And so they did have a quick conversation. And it sounds like she's going to have to bring that pitch up just a little bit to get it into the bottom part of the zone.
The only time North Linn allowed 4 runs this year was back on the 2nd of July against Calamus-Wheatland. That was a 14-4 win.
Well, North Lynn's usually a team that is accustomed to scoring lots of runs. They average 11 runs a game. So they know how to put crooked numbers up on the scoreboard.
Hit in that dead area between 2nd and 1st in time. Benish to Van Milligan to get Church out, but not before Ogden scores 4. Good inning for Ogden. And it's been an interesting year just because we're getting a chance to play. And as fans and parents and players are making their way to the park, they've noticed signs, and in the dugout and in the stands, there's different indications that this is a different year. There's been some distancing. Even when you stand in the line at the concession area, and the players, some of them in masks, some fans in masks. And it has just been a year that started late, reduced in size. 2 teams did not play from schools of 335. 11 teams had their seasons ended early. As 26 teams were impacted, but we had no confirmed cases of anybody this week. And there you see some masks in the stands. And when you're crossing over from, from different schools, I've seen that, there's been a lot of mingling with the same group of people from the same town. That's where it is. But one of the hats there was an R, so that was not a hat that matched either of these teams. So I've not been around these people. And it's just been an interesting year, and we're just glad we got to play.
Oh, everybody's so happy that we had the opportunity to play. I know it gave a lot of people the opportunity to get out of the house and watch some softball over the last 6 weeks, go support their local high school and have something to do. And that was a big part of it. It was a big part for all of these seniors being able to finish their career on the softball diamond. A lot of reasons that softball should have been played, and baseball is being played as well this same week.
Jill Smith swings and fouls it off herself.
Don't see that very often.
So it's a ball and a strike.
1 in a million.
Both baseball and softball having the shortened season. We had the governor here earlier. Governor Kim Reynolds was in attendance as that changeup goes out. And it was a bold step that she made. No other state. Iowa was the last to have basically that boys 4A championship basketball game was the last action we had. Well hit towards left. It's going to get past Kennedy and left all the way to the wall. Jill Smith is in with a double. You think the Lynx were worried in the dugout? No, Smith says.
No, we can score some runs. As I said, they average almost 11 runs a game. And even though they're down 4-0, they think, well, you know what? We can score 6, 7, 8, 9 runs. So we'll spot you 4, see if we can come back on you. And that's a good start for North Linn.
And it's been the bottom of the order that had a couple of those home runs against Northeast in the semifinals. That bunt is put down and it's foul. Coming in to charge, it was Dutcher. So they're charging at the corners for Ray Van Milligan, another one of those seniors.
And that last pitch was right at her. She squared to bunt, that rise ball that you can't get down and get on top of.
Here's the sign, bunt. Oh, but I know a rise ball's coming. How am I supposed to do that? Shows bunt. Pulls it back, fouls it right above us.
Well, with 2 strikes, you just have to be able to protect, shorten up that swing, choke up a little bit on the bat, put this ball in play.
The 0-2 from Lecker is low. Smith looks to get a couple of steps. Fished out of the dirt by Moore, who had the big hit to start the tide of water. Hit towards third, across to first. Ross to Dutcher. Runner, though, moves to third.
Smith got a huge jump off of second, but nobody over at second covering up, and just go ahead and get the out. You want to get some outs right now, and don't throw the ball around a lot. Make sure of the 1 out, even though that runner was allowed to get to third base.
And I know it's only in the second, but you can trade outs for runs when you're up 4. I mean, you need those outs. I know that's a late game strategy thing, but if you clear the bases and get the out or whatever, it can reset a team, and then we're up 4-1 is what you're thinking. But you're right. Getting that out is extremely important. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, you want to make sure you get the out. Otherwise, you may be standing no outs, runners at the corners, and then that moves that momentum back over to the opponent's dugout. But, you know, Ross could have easily run at Smith, but there was nobody there at second base, so she made the right decision.
Pitch is low from Lecker to Natalie Gallery. Gallery was 2 for 3 against Northeast, and she had one of those 5 home runs. The 2-1, swung on and missed. The North Linn fans at that semifinal game, it was down on Veterans Field, and they were feeling that inning when they just blew it open with those home runs, and that was a different kind of a cheer every time somebody hit a home run. Popped up, but foul.
Well, there were so many of them. You know, you had to change your cheer tone. I mean, there was it was one right after another. It was crazy, and I talked to Coach Porter afterwards, and I said, you know, where'd that come from? Where'd the power explosion? He goes, oh, gosh, we could have had 7. He goes, we had a couple right to the fence, and he goes, I'm never satisfied. We probably should have had 7 in that ball game.
Pitch is low to Gallery. And the count is 3-2. So, pretty good spot here for North Linn.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Let's see where they try to go against Gallery. Swung on and missed. They went out for the second out.
North Linn team making Lecker work. There's that drop ball, the one that she really likes. It's her go-to pitch, keeps it down in the zone.
That'll bring in Jenna Lemley, the sophomore designated player.
Ball.
The bottom 3 of the order had the home run. Jenna Lemley was one of them. That was number 3 on the season for her.
Ball.
That pitch is low.
Outside, out level.
Yeah, they had everybody contribute to the home run parade in that ball game.
The 2-0 is a strike. Moore might have helped that framing just a little bit.
I think she brought it up just enough to be able to catch Jason Slater's eye.
Can't hurt to try. That pitch is out.
Swing.
Check swing, no.
I'm outside on that. Yep. 3 balls, 1 strike.
I really like the give and take between Jason Slater back behind the plate. He makes both catchers feel comfortable. And that's, I think, part of the umpire's job, not only to call the game, but to be able to work with that catcher in tandem on both sides and make sure everybody's doing what they need to do and explain things as they go along.
One is protecting the other and working with the other.
Yeah. He's doing a great job.
The 3-2 pitch is low. Lemley aboard, so there's 2 on with 2 out. And the 8th grader, Skylar Benish, comes up. First walk of the game for Lecker. Benish. First varsity home run was the home run against Northeast. She was the 3rd of 3. She bats here with a huge chance to make this game a whole lot closer. 435 hitter. And when you're an 8th grader playing with this lineup, Laura, talk about good experience, and you know she can play.
Well, if she's in the lineup, you know she can play, because there's a lot of good athletes on this North Linn team. No, I looked out Adrian and Braniff discussing out there, what are they going to do? How are they going to cover second base if the runner over at first decides to go? So good communication between the two. They were working it out after the first pitch, making sure they knew who had the coverage at the plate, who was maybe going to cut in front and cut that throw short so they could make the play at the plate. But you got to like the way that they're talking and working together out there.
Fly ball hit to right, back on it, tracking it, and making the catch is Nelson. To end the threat, North Linn leads a pair.
Tell them when it crosses the batter, not the catcher's man. All right, hey.
Good catch.
Everybody's on her. Everybody is on her. Okay, there's a lot of game left. We got to stay even keeled. Don't get too excited. Okay? Keep after her. Keep the pressure on them. Yep. Keep the pressure on her. Keep the pressure on them. Here we go.
So there's the adjustment, talking about where some of these pitches are going, if they're high, if they're low. And this is Abby Flanagan. There you see her spin the 1. And that was a different spin again, Laura. What else you see?
I just see that, you know, she's got different grips. She's got great rotation, keeps those shoulders square, and is able to locate her pitches.
Again, you can't tell if she's up or down in the game right now with that face.
She knows, she knows that she's got the stuff to get through this lineup. She trusts the defense behind her, and she knows that they certainly have the bats to be able to produce some runs. So no panic in Flanagan or this team as of right now. And, you know, one of the things that Coach Porter told me too is, you know, first time around in the order, they don't always jump on the pitcher. It's usually that second time around that when they get that second look at their opponent, they start producing the runs.
Well, and we talked about that during the 3A game, and I was going to follow you up with that and say, you see that a lot with the good teams. It might even be 1 or 2 pitches. And that batter who just got done says to the on-deck person, rise out, or, you know, just says like 3 words, and it just helps understand. That was a great pitch by Abby Flanagan.
That was a great pitch, and it was one that Dutcher was ready for it, and boy, she had the bat out there, but even before the ball made it to the plate and she pulled it back, maybe trying to get a second swipe at it.
Swung on and missed, strike 3. Dutcher out. Third strikeout of the game for Dutcher.
Great location. Just that upper corner of the zone.
Ross had the first Ogden hit last inning. And she bats with the bases empty here. She eventually came around to score. I don't think there's a pitch she doesn't like.
You know, good hitters and good contact hitters, ones that can really smash the ball. They've got a little bit more free swing in them and will go after pitches, but she makes good contact as well.
The 1-1 to Ross is swung on and missed. And Ross said, you know, in practice, I got to face Denali sometimes. That's no fun. That stinks. What's her best pitch? I think it's her rise. And that's not what Denali thinks is her best pitch.
No, she thinks the drop ball. We told her that, and she goes, oh, man. No, my drop ball is my best pitch. I said, well, maybe that's why you strike her out so much in batting practice, because she thinks your rise ball is your best.
But if you're going to get a good chance to face a good pitcher, it's good to have it on your team. Flanagan's not too bad either. She winds and fires on this 2-2 pitch, and it's fouled out of play.
Get that girl a glove.
Couldn't see it, but it sounds like somebody made a nice catch up there in the stands.
The Ogden fans you saw there in the black shirts. On this upper or lower 80-degree day, it is beautiful. Light breeze. The pitch is smacked down and all the way to the wall. Digging for second. It's going to be close, but not close enough. Gabby Ross, 2 for 2 here today in this 2A championship game with a double.
Just went with that pitch and finds the gap in right field. It gets all the way to the fence, and they make it very close at second base as they hustle and get the ball in. And Ross arrives just one step ahead of the ball.
Faith Moore, she had the RBI double in the second. That's from the left side.
Good off-speed pitch. Just covers it up so well, you don't really see it coming. And these hitters out on that front foot just wave right through that off-speed pitch.
The 0-2 popped foul, just got a piece of it. She got contact, and that's what Coach Moses says she is. She's a contact hitter. As we've seen in several games, it doesn't matter if it's state or not. You put that ball in play, make the defense earn it.
Yeah, and that's what you're thinking right now, too. And even if you can get one to the right side to move that and advance that runner to third base.
And if you can waste enough pitches and frustrate the pitcher, maybe you can get one of those 0-2 pitches down the middle and send it flying.
Yeah, at some point, you know, if you battle up there and you keep fouling pitches off, eventually you might get one in the zone that you can put into play, find a gap, move the runner, or maybe even score that runner.
The 0-2 again. Change up, popped up. That's not going to get anybody across. It's going to be a pop out. Skylar Benish makes the play. So Lauren Kennedy reached on an error that ended up sending 2 runs in. Another lefty. Slaps at it.
And they make that adjustment defensively.
Yep, Gallery comes in at third.
Benish comes in pretty much even with the pitcher. And it looks like Van Milligan staying back on around the first base area. So trying to cut down the angles for the lefty slapper.
So if you're Kennedy, you're trying to put it about where the umpire is standing between first and second.
And we saw that happen in the first game.
Yep.
Where he got a pitch up and were able to just drop it over the charging infield.
Slapped foul just enough.
Stay out of the box for a minute, okay?
Now, one thing that Flanagan's trying to do right here,
How you doing?
she's been 0-2 on these last 2 batters, but it's been tough getting that third strike without some effort.
2 strikes.
Sometimes that third strike is oh so tough. But a good pitcher like Flanagan can get it done. The 0-2. Rise ball, swung on and missed by Kennedy. And that ends the Ogden third. So Denali Lecker, we've talked about her hitting. Pitching's not too bad either. This is the one we wanted to really see. She's got some power. Let's see it super slow-mo.
Well, and the University of Iowa has recruited her, #1 for her hitting, but you have to believe that they're going to let her throw some innings for them next softball season as she turns the hips a little bit more, gets a little bit more spin on her ball. She's a pitcher that works and works and works all the time, not only on her hitting, but on her pitching as well.
I gotta say, talking strategy with her, she was one of the other ones that I thought, just listening to her discuss the game, her understanding of so many aspects of it was so impressive to me. There are just some players that, you know, are destined to be coaches or just destined to be great players. She's one of them.
But, you know, the other thing, I totally agree with you. And I think the other thing, you know, we talked to her a little bit about pitching and when she started pitching. And she said she was probably around 10 years old when she was told that she wouldn't be a very good pitcher.
I was just gonna say, I got a follow-up. What?
Yeah.
How's that possible?
And we said, well, what was it that, why were you told you weren't going to be a good pitcher? Well, I wasn't very accurate. I wasn't very fast, didn't have a whole lot of speed. And, you know, when somebody tells me that I can't do something, it makes me want to do it all the more. And that's, I think, why she's really worked so hard at being and becoming the pitcher that she is. Same way with hitting as well.
Hannah Bridgewater, foul. Down the left field line.
Yeah, I asked her about hitting too, and we'll talk about that in a little bit when she's at the plate and take a look at what she does when she steps in the box and how she approaches every at-bat when she gets to see pitches.
The drop, the rise, the change are solid. But I think she can also bring the fastball too.
I think you just saw it right there.
Yeah, right on cue. They gotta get Bridgewater on. She is a great athlete, 4-sport athlete for North Linn. She's trying to run her way on to first or at least get there with a hit. That one's high. She's qualified for state in 4 sports: cross country, basketball, track and field, and softball.
Won titles in basketball and softball, looking to add another softball title.
She's one of those players. I asked Coach Porter, what do you say to her? What's it like to coach him? I don't say anything to him. Him and the Flanagans. He goes, there's nothing you can tell them. I mean, they're so good. I goes, I'm not going to be able to help them. Hit up the middle. Lecker fields the position, tosses over to Dutcher, 1 away. But I tell you what, Bridgewater was there and only out by half a step.
Yeah, she's got speed and leads the entire state, all classes in stolen bases. So they would like to get her on. Talk about table setters and leadoff hitters. Different for both of these teams, as Bridgewater is the speedster, and she's the one that can manufacture runs.
Sommerfeld lays down the bunt. Lecker fields throws and throws over to Braniff, who is covering.
Everybody on the defense jumped all over that one quickly. They were on their toes, ready to pounce. Lecker gets over there and makes a good throw.
Here's Abby Flanagan, last year's 2A All-Tournament team captain. Watches the first pitch drop into the zone. She singled her last time, and it was a laser to right. That one's chopped. Lecker reaches, throws, gets it. 1, 2, 3, go the Lynx. All of them retired. Lecker to whoever was covering first. As we go to the fourth.
Hello, I'm Paul Yeager. This evening, for one night only, Market to Market moves to Iowa PBS World so you can watch the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Championships on Iowa PBS. So if you just want to watch Market to Market, switch over to Iowa PBS World on our .3 channel tonight at 8, or catch us online anytime at iowapbs.org.
Side the defender was fantastic. Withheld the challenge. Lots of strength.
Variant with a defender right on her in Brown.
Wonderfully on the volley, left foot. Dipped it up as we have a look at this. What a brilliant delivery by Wee, and Brown coming in.
This evening at 9:30 on Iowa PBS.
Ogden put 4 across in the second, and that's the game's only scoring. 4-4-0 for the Bulldogs. 0-2-1 for the Lynx. Abby Flanagan back into the circle. Grace throws it down to second. There's your view from behind home, and the Iowa PBS Sports crew all over the diamond. We've got cameras on first and third and out in center and behind the plate. Even little ones on Laura and myself. I'm Paul Yeager, that's Laura Leonard. And we're almost to the halfway point of our day as we go to the top of the fourth here in this Class 2A championship game. That first pitch is hit down the right field line and foul out of play. Amber Braniff, Meredith Adrian, and Denali Lecker due up for the Bulldogs. Braniff struck out back in the second.
A lot of times teams like that second table setter at that number 9 position to turn the lineup over, get some speed on the bases from that number 9 position, and made some good contact on the first pitch. So Flanagan comes right back after with that second pitch.
Let's see what Flanagan does on the 0-2 here.
Ball.
It's high.
One ball.
Forgive me if you hear the umpire calls at home. I always ask for the umpire microphone to be put into my headset, and I never know if it's actually heard at home, but it is so fascinating to hear because, as we mentioned, some umpires will say up, down, in, out, high, and it just gives you a sense of where things are at. It's that, we talk about that give and take, and that's what's so fun. It's always, this sport is a game within a game.
Well, it helps the catcher and work with her pitcher and knowing where the zone is and what they need to do, how they need to attack each hitter, and then it helps the hitter as well because, you know, sometimes you'll see a hitter offer at a pitch and then they'll turn around and ask the umpire, was that in the zone or did I just swing it? And you know, and so there's always that give and take between those three people at the plate, the catcher, the hitter, and the umpire.
Come on in there.
And at times you hear him trying to speed up the game.
We're out of time here. We're out of time here. Tell her to move.
The 2-2 pitch is coming. Nice pitch. That's what they would say, freeze her. Wow.
Well, she gets frozen. Strikeout number 5. That one just floats.
Just flitters. Yeah.
There's a couple of getting close, but that one's just a reminder in between. Yeah, buddy.
Flanagan. I've been reading about the Flanagans for years, as freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors. Just, you know, you kind of, as we cover basketball and softball, you just knew these two sisters. because we had North Linn at state basketball during the Nicole Miller era, and you just heard Coach Wheatley say, yeah, but I got these twins coming. I got this class, and this is the class he was referring to. And it worked out in basketball, it worked out in softball, and they're trying to do it again here in this 2A championship game, but you got to see what they're made of. They're down 4-0 in the fourth. Flanagan, and that was one of the stories. Great reporter Jeff Linder of the Cedar Rapids Gazette, he knew about these girls and had featured them a time or two in some stories, and that ball is fouled away. And the boys basketball team pretty good at the same time. The Hilmer brothers, they had one that went to Upper Iowa and playing a couple of sports. They have another one now. North Linn, north of Cedar Rapids, Linn being Linn County.
It'd be similar to North Polk.
Yeah.
Polk County, North Polk County, a little north of Ankeny.
Yep.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Nice pitch from Flanagan to get the strikeout of Adrian. So that's a good pitch, and that'll bring in Lecker. So if you're a neighbor of the Leckers in Ogden, there's a good chance you've probably had a batting practice ball thrown or hit into your yard. And it might not be a very big ball. She pops that first one up a mile high, and it's going to go thump behind us. Her dad throws her batting practice, and everybody sees it. It's out in the street.
And it's small balls. It's smaller than a softball. That's what makes her eye so good. And I asked her, I said, what do you look at when you're in the box? What are you looking at? She goes, I look at her hip, the pitcher's hip, and then I look to locate the seams so I can see what kind of spin is on the ball. That is impressive, because that is hard to do. And if you can see those seams in the rotation on the ball, and there are certain hitters that can do that, and they're good hitters like she is. But that's the process that she's gone through, getting all that batting practice, hitting smaller targets than normal in a softball game. That's what her dad throws to her. That's how she's become the hitter that she is.
And anytime anybody says, I look at the seams, I go, well, you obviously have some pretty darn good eyesight that you're able to tell that. The 2-1 to Lecker. Off speed is hit a mile high. That thing is nearly out of the entire park. Home run, Denali Lecker. She absolutely crushed that one to left field.
Well, she's trying to chase down Kendall Lindemann. I don't think she's going to get many more opportunities to try to do it. She needed 5 home runs coming into this tournament to at least tie Kendall Lindemann for the all-time home run leader in the state of Iowa. That one was crushed, and you know, I parked out that way, and I thought we should be safe parking out here. That ball might have come close to clearing that second fence out there.
Let's do it.
Well, we talked about moving the fences in. Even if you are moving them out, you would have had to have moved those back 30 to 40 feet to catch that one. Pitch comes back to Flanagan from Palmer, and the Bulldogs go down here in the fourth, but not before a home run from Lecker.
Come on. Next 5-0 lead for the Bulldogs.
Sometimes you just don't have to say much. They know you're down 5-0.
Thanks, buddy.
In Fort Dodge, you'll find public art painted on the side of a grain silo. This has been done over the last couple of years along the Des Moines River, and our Iowa PBS drone has flown around this thing a number of times, depicting the hardworking American farmer and the farm worker and the worker in general. It is a sight to see both on television and in person. Here on television, we have a softball game. It's the middle of the fourth. Ogden, they lead North Linn 5-0. This is the Class 2A state championship game. You're watching Iowa PBS. It's Friday afternoon, now Friday evening, the 31st of July. What a way to end the month.
Where'd it go?
Ugh.
Gone so quickly. However, I think you'd talk to a lot of people and they'd say, you know what, let's get 2020 out of here. It's been kind of a strange year for everything, but I think everybody here around the ballpark is happy to be here in Fort Dodge watching a little softball, great softball, and just the opportunity to be out and about.
First pitch to Grace Flanagan is hit a mile high towards left field. Right at the line is Lauren Kennedy, and Flanagan is out on one pitch. Make that a capital F for fly ball there in your scorebook. That'll bring in Jill Smith, the sophomore, who had a double in her last at-bat. Smith, a sophomore. There are going to be parts for this North Linn team next year to build around, and Smith is one of them. But it will be a different coach, as Marv Porter said, that's it, I'm done. I'm getting closer to 80. I'm having trouble hitting the ball out of the infield on infield, outfield. I think it's time.
I think he's done such an amazing job and sticking with this game and being part of a program and building that program into a contender year in and year out. And
come on, 1-9.
He's a man of few words, but he gets his point across. And I know these kids really love playing for him. And he said, you know what? I don't have to tell these kids, and you mentioned it, I don't have to tell them a lot. They know what they need to do. I don't have to do a lot of coaching. And he's one of those that does not call the pitches.
Right.
Lets the Flanagans call the game on their own. And he said, I don't need to do that. They know what the heck they're doing out there. So. But a good guy that's been around the game for a long time and paid his dues, and we will certainly miss seeing him around the softball diamond.
Said he really enjoys the kids, and you have to when you do this. Hit towards third, a rocket. Ross sticks the glove down, throws across the Dutcher, and Smith is out.
That's why it's called the hot corner, because you get hot shots like that, and all you have to do is defend yourself. And Ross did. She got the glove down, and the ball found her glove, and she makes a strong throw.
Coach calls her a good glove, strong arm at that corner, and she showed it right there.
Got to have the good reflexes, too, and she showed that off.
She's also had the good bat this game, 2 for 2. The 0-1 hit towards third. Marv kicks at it. Marv had his former co-worker, who was a Pepsi driver along with him, at the game on Tuesday, and they had a chance to catch up. You know, that job is one where you do interact with a lot of people, and you are in and out of a lot of businesses, and I'm sure there's plenty of people in that area of the state. Might not know him from softball, but they know the Pepsi guy.
Absolutely, and you know, you build those relationships. I was in sales for a long time, and you build those relationships, and you get to know your customers. And he even said,
"Are you kidding me?"
That's a great play right there.
Adrian dives, not even to her feet, throws across to Dutcher. We got to see that one again. Just the stop. And then the throw to get Van Milligan out by a step. Wow. We'll go to the 5th when we come back.
George Bush took office at the beginning of 3 years of nonstop foreign policy crises.
Things were moving so fast on the ground.
That's a way to do it if you're going to do it right.
The liberation of Eastern Europe and the reunification of Germany, victory in the Cold War, the collapse of the Soviet Union. You talk about closure.
Tuesday evening at 9 on Iowa PBS.
This month in Passport, your on-demand library of the best of PBS.
Straight private detectives.
Still the same old Frankie.
Staying out of trouble?
Well, where's the fun in that? George Bush hardly had a chance. Almost out of the gate, he's hit with 9/11.
Our team of spy creatures reveal the astonishing variety of life across the globe.
These and other shows are available with Passport. Become a member of this PBS station. Sign in and start streaming today.
Ogden is the road team. They've scored 5 runs. It was a big second and a home run in the 4th. Hello, I'm Paul Yeager. That's Laura Leonard. We're behind home and a couple of feet apart, but we can still hear each other and we're still talking softball. That's a good thing.
It is a good thing, and a great game we have going here. And I know there's been a lot of talk about Denali Lecker, and we've finally gotten her to see her swing the bat, and I think we're going to get an opportunity to see this North Linn team provide us a big rally. They're a team that does not give up. They've been behind before, and they know how to come back, and they know what it takes to win championships. So I think we have a wild finish in store for us.
North Linn has won 31 straight games. And that hit to the right side by Church is fielded by Van Milligan for the first out here of the 5th.
That's where all the foul balls go. See how the box Okay.
So Hannah Dutcher will come in. She had a walk in the 2nd, struck out in the 3rd. That's here in the 5th. First pitch up the middle, base hit. Just smacked it. You know, one thing that we've heard from Coach Moses and the 2 times we've listened in to their huddle coming off, he says, you can hit her, we can hit her.
Yeah, instilling that confidence that, okay, we got to her early, and then, okay, we got 4 runs, got the home run. All right, we're on her. Now you can be really confident getting to the plate, and you just have to keep cheering your team on, keep building up that level when they get to the plate, that they know, okay, here's the zone I'm looking for. I know a pitch is going to come to me that I can drive. We're not intimidated anymore.
They might be defending champs, but we're going to make our name known. Off speed, swung through by Gabby Ross. And let's remind everyone who didn't watch Ogden Louisa Muscatine, the Bulldogs were down 4-0 in that game and came back and won 6-4. So, hey, we got a lot of softball left to play as that pitch from Flanagan is out.
And that was a situation where they remained calm. There was never any panic. They just were able to get through each inning and then finally put those 6 runs on the board.
Ross, base hit left field. Another hit, Ross 3-for-3.
Ross has done such a great job of handling the bat. Stays, keeps the hands back as that ball was a little off speed and down in the zone, able to stay with it and drop it into left field.
Wasn't she fun to talk to?
Yes.
I remember sitting there looking at that face going, there was such joy that she was feeling, and she was so proud of the town for all their support, and just knew it was special. And that one's hit towards short, over to 3rd for the first out. So Dutcher is out on the fielder's choice 6-5. Moore will go down to 1st. Ross to 2nd. And let's see what we're going to have here.
Make sure I do it right here. Number 4. All right, Ogden.
4 for 12.
Reagan Cruzy is going to run here for Faith Moore, the courtesy runner.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
4 courtesy catcher.
Courtesy runner number 4, Reagan Cruz, running for Moore at first base. Now batting left fielder Warren Kennedy.
Cruz the look at first. Running up on it on a strike is Lauren Kennedy. 0-1. Fouled back into the bleacher area and the new netting. The new netting on this field now in its second year. We've had these stands for a couple of years before that.
You've done a really nice job of fixing this place and adding.
Oh, ball gets past. Kennedy's is going to be on first. They're going to throw to third, down, and the out is made. Flanagan snaps it to Gallery, but not before another run scores, so it'll be 6-0 on that bang-bang series of events. Gallery threw it wide, and coming in to score was Ross, and then Flanagan. Grace threw it down to Gallery, and not able to sneak back in was Cruz. But Ogden adds another. So we go to the bottom of the fifth. And in this year of, hold on, I'm still scoring things, guys. That was a whole lot to happen, and I can't multitask, but here we go.
I will finish my thought in saying that
when we talk about this crowd that's here.
Fort Dodge has done a really great job here at the Harlan Rogers Field, Hazel and Harlan Rogers Field, of fixing it up and getting more stands and having fans be able to come and spread out and come watch games, get more people here to watch really great softball. And what a perfect night for this evening to be able to be out, come support these teams, and see one heck of a show in this 2A final.
Fans are both in the middle area, and there's usually bleachers out here in the outfield, and they're still spaced in there in this section right above us. There's some media in there, there's some umpires in there, and not as much seating up above as we'll sometimes hear, which I have to admit I've enjoyed, because sometimes we'll hear a lot of stomping that goes on up above us on those metal bleachers. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. And I don't know how long this will last. Natalie Gallery here is 0 for 1 as she's ahead in this count. Gallery, Lemley, and Benish due up for North Linn in this fifth inning.
You know, I think there's going to be things that come out of this crazy year that we're going through. I think you might see some resets and certain things that they've found well that might have worked here in this tournament, and say, hey, we may want to keep that procedure. We may want to keep that schedule. We may want to keep whatever. I think you're going to find some things here and throughout a whole lot of other things that we may keep those traditions and may reset our thought process of how we do things.
Fouled off by Gallery. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Just never know if they'll get the thumb right.
The complex here, the city of Fort Dodge,
2 balls, 2 strikes.
had made improvements to those other 2 diamonds this summer, getting ready for that expanded tournament. That one is low. That are normally the consolation diamonds. Work done to laser off those infields down below, and maybe we will see that again. It was more of the high school atmosphere that you see at your average softball field. The 2-2 is fouled off again by Gallery. And there are some fans who frankly had told me that I don't think it's right. I think we should be playing on the big diamonds with the big stands. That state. If we lose, we get it. We'll be in the consolation land. But
and I think that's a fair request as well. I mean, you worked hard to get to state, and it's the gem, it's the nugget that you go for and you look for when you start your season. That's what you want to do, is you want to get to Fort Dodge and you want to play on this diamond for the championship.
Gallery pops up to Braniff for the first out of the fifth. And that's why when Fort Dodge and Fort Dodge St. Edmunds host a tournament, teams want to come up here and play because they want that experience of playing at this complex. Smacked up the middle, that's going to be a base hit for Jenna Lemley. Nice piece of hitting. But, you know, this year, Laura, you know, we talk about the year and the weird year that it was. As I think we're going to have the flex run. And we are. It's going to be Roush come in to run. There weren't a lot of tournaments this year that involved, there weren't any tournaments on weekends that you would normally have. So it was conference games. You were able to get your conference games in, and we didn't have those crossovers. Now, if we go 2 years without that, there is an argument that could be made that maybe the quality of softball will drop off a little bit because you're not at that higher competition and getting better or building for that next year. How many times have you heard a coach at State who's maybe got a freshman sophomore team that meets somebody that they played here, bunt is down and it's foul, didn't make it past the plate, who they'll meet a coach that they played and say, you know what, let's do a doubleheader next year, or can we come to your tournament or something. That relationship is built, and if you don't have that, it might not get your team ready to play at that next level.
Yeah, it makes for, with those tournaments on the weekends and the opportunity to play different teams, and you see some of those tournaments where you have somebody representing all classes. You have 1A through 5A at some of these tournaments, and you get the opportunity to play up and you play down. And in some of the smaller classes, you have pitchers like we're seeing right here that can challenge some 5A teams.
Oh, the out at second is not made. Lemley's going to go to third. Safe at first is Benish. And the Lynx, we're going to try to take advantage of the error.
I think there was a little confusion between Adrian and Braniff. Do I flip? And oh, it sailed on her a little bit. She was there, but it was just a casual flip that just kind of had a little curve to it and got away from Braniff.
Uh-oh, top of the lineup, Hannah Bridgewater smacks it right at first. Dutcher is going to crawl to the bag. A run's going to score, but more importantly for Ogden, they get an out.
Cam right behind you.
So Lemley, or actually that's Roush that scores. Benish is at second. And Sommerfeld will bat.
Ball.
Thinks about the bunt with 2 out.
I'm out on that. I must go.
Little crack for them to maybe get another run in. Little opening that they need to take advantage of. And that was one of the keys we talked about. Take advantage of opportunities. They've been given an opportunity here. Got to cash in.
The pitch fouled away. Sommerfeld is on that squad, Laura, with Hannah Bridgewater, Natalie Gallery, Grace Flanagan, and Abby Flanagan. They started playing together as a 10U team. Now stop me if you've heard this before. What do you think their first game score was?
Well, I do know.
But we also heard it last night, too.
It wasn't good. We know that. 26-0.
Strike 3, ball gets away from the catcher, and Sommerfeld's going to be safe at first. So it's a strikeout, but it's also an error. Going to third is Benish.
I'm right behind you, buddy. I'm right behind you.
I heard Brad Wells mention that last night, and Molly Parrott. They were talking about a team that had been playing a long time together and lost their first game, and Brad was kind of like, how's that possible? Well, you could say the same thing here about this group.
Well, it just takes a special group of players to be dedicated to the sport and know that there is talent on that younger team, and they have to develop it and continue to, yeah, you'll take your lumps every now and again, but you learn from losses like that. You learn from getting beat, and you learn that you don't like it very much, and you don't want to have those feelings again, and you make yourself become better.
Abby Flanagan, one swing could make this game a whole lot closer. The pitch. Called strike. And again, Flanagan's got that look. Like, I am going to rocket this one. Singled back in the first. That one, they try to go inside.
You know, she said that she had always continued to work on her craft, pitching, even knowing that, hey, there may not be a softball season, but she continued to work and work and work and never really gave up on it, never took time off. And that's why she, right from the beginning, was able to step in the circle and be so dominant this season. And now an opportunity for her to get her team right back into this ball game.
The 3-1 strike. I was beginning to think they were doing a intentional walk, but this is going to be a great pitch right here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. 6-1 Ogden. The pitch to Flanagan. Strike 3 called. She's punched out on strikes. 2 runners left. The Bulldogs get out of a tough jam. Let's see that strike 3.
Right on the corner. And that's the pitch that they needed right at that moment.
We're all right. We're fine. Okay? We're just gonna...
So that was the 6th strikeout for Lecker. And this game has been a whole lot of Ogden offense, and it started back in the 2nd. Hannah Dutcher, Gabby Ross, Faith Moore, Lauren Kennedy all reached. Dutcher, Ross, Moore would score, and a couple of miscues also helped the cause. Adron and Lecker would come up after that incident where the ball was thrown into the media area. And then in the 4th, we had liftoff. The Denali Lecker show left the ballpark. That was about the 6:05 train bound for Northwest Webster County. 6-1 Ogden. And it has been a Bulldog offensive performance that I think I don't think they were happy necessarily just settling for getting to the title game. They felt a championship was something that was going to mean a lot, and they really, really felt this was their time.
She's currently still in this spot.
I haven't done this before.
It's okay. So what you want to tell me is you want to re-enter the DP.
She's my...
You're putting her back down here.
Yeah.
And you want number 15 to be ready to hit next time, or number 5, is that her number?
I've only done it once.
Yeah, you're fine.
Right.
So we're going to re-enter the DP, okay?
Yeah.
So she can bat next time she's up.
Right.
So what we're doing is we're just moving we're re-entering the DP because she left the game. Now she's back in.
Right.
Now the flex is just back down here.
Right.
And he is going to have a pinch hitter here, number 18 for 1.
So we'll have a pinch hitter for Ogden. And a little clarification there as Emma Moorman is going to bat here for Braniff. And Moorman was somebody who had been getting some time this year. She gets her chance here to bat against Abby Flanagan as we go to work in the top of the 6th. Just an 8th grader. I know I wasn't ready for varsity sports at 8th grade. Laura, I think you were.
Well, I don't know, not like some of these 8th graders in this day and age. These 8th graders have played a lot more softball than I ever did at that 8th grade level. I'm still learning the game, and these kids have played hundreds of games.
Mormon's up 3 balls and no strikes. That one's right down the middle.
Those are easy, though.
She was taken all the way.
3 balls, 1 strike.
I don't think an 8th grader has a choice, do they?
To go out for the team?
No, to take on 3-0.
Oh, to take, no.
I don't think they can look. They can't pretend that they didn't get the sign.
Well, sure you can. You can always say, hey, coach, I missed the sign, sorry.
Well,
you can always.
now with that numbering system, they don't miss those. The 3-2 to Mormon is swung on and missed, strike 3. 7th strikeout for Flanagan, and it's the top of the order, Meredith. Adrian.
Mormon goes down and strikes out number 1. That brings up short. Stop Meredith Adrian.
Ball.
First pitch out. One of those 3 seniors in the top of this lineup, 7 that start. Fouled back.
Yeah, they've come up together. They've played in some travel ball and come up together through the ranks, and this senior class has done a pretty good job of making Ogden a softball team that people will sit up and take notice. That senior class has a record of 92-26, so they've been pretty dominant in building this Ogden softball team.
The 2-1 on the way from Flanagan is put into play towards Smith, who gloves it. And the out is made. And, you know, Coach Moses told us this weekend, Laura, he said, I kept this team together on the way up. I could have pulled up or dropped down, but I chose to keep them together. I wanted them to play and go through some of these things together. And you could say it worked.
Yeah, and he said a couple of the players he brought up, and they did play some varsity, but then he would take them back down, and they would all play the majority of the games together at that lower level, at the JV level, at the 8th grade level. And that's what he wanted them to get used to one another and comfortable playing with one another, and that's why he did that, because he knew he had something special.
You go.
And we're not even going to get a chance to pitch to Lecker. The first pitch is the only one she sees in this at-bat.
I'm sorry, I didn't know what you were trying to say. I thought you might have been calling pitches or something. I got you now. Thank you.
So Lecker gets the walk. So, thank goodness for friends. A friend of mine said he asked Denali if she was pitching to herself, would she walk herself or pitch to herself? What do you think she would say?
I think she would pitch to herself.
She said she wasn't sure, but I think she would pitch to herself too.
I think she'd be up for a challenge.
Because I think exactly, the challenge. I think she could think, I could get myself out, and then the hitter decides, oh, I could get a hit off of me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, she would know what she's throwing herself. That's how you get a hit off of her.
Jenna Palmer's up 2-0. Off speed, nice pitch.
You know, and it has to be a little disheartening. I mean, yes, you have that reputation. We saw it. We saw it in the earlier inning, how hard she can hit a ball. But it kind of has to hit you deep down that you're not getting the opportunity to swing the bat. But doesn't bother her. She just goes, okay, great, I'm going to first base. I'm waiting for my teammates to knock me around. And they have done that this entire tournament. We have talked about it, how she's been walked so many times. In the first 2 games, 7 times, scored 4 of those times. So teams are willing to give up runs, putting her on. They don't want to give up the big inning.
Well, I don't know if you knew this or not, but Denali Lecker got graduation cards from all the coaches in the West Central Conference saying, congratulations on your graduation, and we don't have to play you anymore.
Here's number 25. She's going to leave the game. And you're putting in number 11?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bench run.
Thank you. Get me at the re-enter. 11 for 25.
Lily.
So we're going to have a runner for Palmer. Lily Ferguson, another 8th grader.
We already have 25.
Number 11. Lily Ferguson running for Church.
You going to let him talk to you like that?
Oh, man. Okay, give me Elise. Elise, so number 10 is going to run for the courtesy run for the pitcher.
Where's the pitcher at? She's
Number-
out here,
yeah,
number
number
5.
five.
So then we're not doing anything.
Right,
You're having a new
courtesy.
courtesy pitcher,
Right.
and you're telling me
No.
she's number what?
Courtesy
That's
for
not
the
you. This is you.
yeah, courtesy for the pitcher now is number 10.
10 courtesy pitcher in the 6th.
Yeah.
Elise Tremblay
10 courtesy pitcher.
is number 10.
10 courtesy.
Number 10, Elise Tremblay.
And then pinch running is Lily Ferguson. There's some coaches that use a lot of courtesy and a lot of pinch runners. You need a lot of room to write in your scorecard. First pitch to Reagan Church, the designated player, is out of the zone.
I think these two coaches are kind of settled in on their lineup, and they've done it all season long, gone with that same lineup from game 1 to this game, and have not made a whole lot of changes other than the courtesy runner. So when it comes to making some changes that they're making now, they just want to make sure they're right on the rules, and what a great job of working together with the umpires to get the job done.
Church grounds out to Van Milligan for the 3rd out of the Ogden 6th.
That makes sense.
Pay attention, please.
I got something I gotta tell you.
I was raised to believe no dream is unreachable.
You can't get in the way of a good story.
Hemingway is this enormous talent.
That's wonderful.
What I got is the new thing.
The game just got bigger. Did you?
It's better than
Wow.
tell the world, spread the word.
It remains a fast-moving story.
Get to the bottom of it.
This is what adventures are made of.
Slime molds. How could you not love them?
'Cause you ain't ever seen
Phenomenal.
what you about to see.
That's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. I can't believe it myself.
Wow.
I'm speechless.
I believe this right here is the best.
Oh, that's some hot gossip for you, isn't it?
It's better than
I love bringing other people together.
I feel like I'm doing something important.
How powerful is that?
Stay curious.
you ain't ever seen what you about to see.
Welcome back to Fort Dodge, Iowa. We're in Webster County, Iowa. North Central Iowa, a little bit west. And we are at the Class 2A State Softball Championship game. Ogden Bulldogs, the North Linn Lynx. North Linn, your defending Class 2A champs, are down to their final 6 outs. They've got to get 5 runs. They have Grace Flanagan, one of their best hitters, at the plate to get them started. But if Ogden can get and limit the base runners of North Linn, they're going to be in good shape. But a lot of softball left to be played here. Grace Flanagan, 0 for 2 today, which is rare for her, Laura. This is a team that they want that state championship. They got the bows in the hair today are gold for going for the gold, going for the championship. They got to spend the last couple of nights in their own beds, and that doesn't normally happen when you come to Fort Dodge. That's, again, one of those things that not happening this year. The dorms at Iowa Central not open for the players, and it's been a little different experience for these teams.
Well, you know, sometimes you ask the players, well, what do you remember from the last time you were here last year? And a lot of them say being in the dorms. I mean, I think that's a fun part of this tournament for these players that make it to Fort Dodge spend the time in the dorms, and they have changed those dorms around. Now, I never made it to state, but several of my friends did, and they said those dorms were so hot because they didn't have any air conditioning. Half the buses that were packed coming up here were packed with fans, so they could have fans in their rooms. But they do a great job of housing the athletes when they come up here. And so, yeah, there's teams that have had to go back and forth, come up here, play the game, go back home. Some have stayed in hotels and have been able to have that experience as well.
Grace Flanagan walks. Jill Smith at the plate. She had a double back in the second. Grounded out in the fourth. They are looking to get their experience back of a state title here. Down 5, but have the leadoff runner on via the walk.
Well, if any team can make a rally late, it's this North Linn team, because they have the power, and you put a couple of runners on, and it makes a very interesting ball game if someone knocks it out.
Popped up a mile high on the second base side, and Braniff was wondering when that thing was going to land. It saw that comet up in the sky.
That is a major league pop-up, and that comet I've not been able to find yet in the sky. I keep looking every night, so maybe tonight somebody will hit one that high and we'll be able to see it.
Smacked foul is Ray Van Milligan, who's 0 for 2. Grounded out both times. And now that sun, as you saw Braniff kind of running back in, that sun is pretty bright there in the west sky. And here's the thing. The last couple of nights at this time of day, in that 5 to 7 o'clock, we haven't had the sun out as big of an impact as we had the last 2 nights. And so it's been a little different. They didn't get a chance to see it in the quarterfinal, semifinal round. And then here tonight, they're getting a good old-fashioned Fort Dodge sunset. Off speed, strike.
Yeah, this is one of the nicest Fridays I think we've had up here in Fort Dodge. It's usually blistering hot. We've had rain, we've had all kinds of weather, but this has to be one of the most perfect softball days that we've had.
That pitch goes high, and Flanagan's going to make it down to second on the wild pitch. Moore had no chance on that one.
And Moore, a lefty catcher. You don't see a lot of left-handed catchers behind the plate, but she just does a great job of receiving the pitches from Denali Lecker and just handling the game from behind the plate.
They've been paired together for 3 years, and they're trying to end their last pairing with a state championship.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
2-2 ground ball over to first from Adrian to Dutcher, out number 2. That'll bring in Natalie Gallery. Flanagan to third, and now we'll have a courtesy runner for the catcher.
7 for 1.
Elise Ware, the freshman, will come in.
Courtesy runner. So here's number 1. She's out. 7 in. Thank you. 1 out, 7 in. 7 for 1. 7.
Sometimes you've seen those catchers and pitchers run for themselves because coaches feel they are such a good base runner, but then there's other times like, no, you're done. You've done your part.
Well, they're a vital part of the team, and the pitcher and the catcher, and we heard Coach Moses say sometimes he'll let Lecker run when she gets on base. Sometimes he'll have a courtesy runner for her, and says, I just don't want her to turn an ankle. I understand that she understands how to run the bases and knows what to do when a ball's hit in the gap and all those kinds of things, but he goes, I can't afford to have her hit the corner of a base and turn an ankle. And I think that's just smart coaching, just knowing your personnel, knowing what to do and when to utilize that rule. That's why that rule is there, to be able to get the pitchers and the catchers back in the dugout, get the catcher to get their gear back on, speed up the game a little bit, but also there to maybe protect your battery.
Chopped to third. Over with it is Ross. And North Linn is down to their final 3 outs. We go to the 7th inning on plays like this.
Little chopper over to third, and you're going to see Dutcher kind of shield her eyes as the ball comes across the diamond.
The 7th when we return.
We have been presented with an exciting opportunity.
We're getting good at this.
I think we're getting really good at this.
It's taking over.
No questions.
Don't look
It's not that dark in here.
over your shoulder.
Staying out of trouble.
There's no escape.
Where's the fun in that?
Get your mind right.
She was a young woman trying to enjoy herself.
Aren't we all?
You ain't ever seen.
To save this girl's life, you're gonna have to marry her.
You better get moving. Ready or not. It's time to go now. Here we go now. Better get moving.
You appear rather ruffled, Miss Scarlett. Are you quite well?
Very, thank you.
Beautiful, appalling,
Exquisite.
Can't argue with that.
No one's perfect.
I'm definitely not that.
Oh, that's some hot gossip for you, isn't it?
See what you started now.
Can you see here? Put that hat on. I just need that to, yeah, that sun. What's that scoreboard say? That scoreboard says 6-1, right? We're still ahead. If you're the Ogden fans. They're trying to get a couple of extra runs here. Dutcher, Ross, and Moore to face Abby Flanagan. First pitch, beauty. That change. It doesn't, it's like almost unfair to call that a change because it just flutters so well.
It's a floater.
Floater?
Yeah, it just floats in there, and you don't really see it coming. It's hard to make the adjustment.
Hit in the air. Dutcher puts it into the glove of Sommerfeld for the first out of the 7th. Sommerfeld, Bridgewater, and Roush in the outfield. Gallery, Smith, Benish, and Van Milligan in the infield for North Linn. The Flanagans here.
Coach Porter said that pitcher and catcher, they're just really a special pair. He's really enjoyed coaching them. He said, I don't have to really coach them, but I thought he had a great quote. He said, you don't have a great pitcher if you don't have a great catcher. And they work so well together. And I think that's true. If you have a good catcher that handles the game, understands when to kind of calm the pitcher down, pump the pitcher up, go out and talk to him, pitches to call, understanding, being on the same page, it makes life a lot easier for the coaches and the coaching staff when you have a pair like that know each other so well.
They will go to DMAC, but play different sports. We'll see how long that lasts.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if they both don't end up playing both basketball and softball.
That floater is hit towards Smith, across to Van Milligan for out number 2.
Had to go down and go after that pitch. Good strong throw from Smith across the diamond. North Linn just wants to get this last out and see if they can put the rally caps on and get back in this game.
Hit towards Gallery, the throw to first in time. Easy looking inning. It's now up to the heroics. North Linn 3 outs away. Trying to repeat, but it's going to have to be a dramatic comeback. They're down 5.
Here we go.
the wind to change direction.
Slime molds. How could you not love them?
This is how science happens. It's cool.
I can hear the storm, it's rumbling. Sounds like a freight train coming. Stay curious.
Oh, it's a current, electric, a fire, magnetic, the city streets at night. An eruption, explosion, an earthquake, commotion, a gamma ray burst of flight.
I can feel it.
Oh, it's like the stars align.
Amazing!
Tonight's the night I come alive.
Oh my gosh. The G-forces are indescribable.
For science.
Yes!
Ogden, 3 outs away from school history. North Linn trying to make history of their own. Can they mount a 5-run comeback, standing in their way? Denali Lecker in the circle. It'll be Jenna Lemley, Skylar Benish, and Hannah Bridgewater. First pitch, ripped foul, and if that goes fair, we got ourselves a dandy of a 7th. Only 2 feet away.
Just turned on it a little bit too much, but being aggressive going after that first pitch, they know that Lecker is going to come after them. Got the big lead, so why not come after the hitters, challenge them, and these hitters are going to be ready to try to drive the balls into the gaps.
The 0-1 from Lecker, off speed, called strike, and she's ahead 0-2.
And you get an aggressive hitter like that pulls that first one foul, you know they're going to kind of have that weight forward, want to swing the bat, so you come in with that off speed.
Lemley had a shot to right center. Hit her last at bat in the 5th, trying to do it here in the 7th. Upstairs, strike 3.
Three pitches up in the zone, rise ball. You can see how she kind of comes down and then releases it at a low point, and that ball just spins up and keeps rising.
First pitch to Benish, who hit a home run in the semifinal. Trying to see if that bat's got a hit left in it.
She's coming into the tournament. She's got 10 doubles on the season, so she can hit for power.
Hit towards Ross across the diamond. To Dutcher. 2 away. As we approach the 7 o'clock hour on July the 31st, 2020, Hannah Bridgewater looks to extend this season. The Bulldogs are huddling towards the gate. They are ready to run out. Hit towards right and foul out of the way of Helena Nelson. Lecker up 0-1 on Bridgewater. That one misses. Bridgewater 0 for 3. That pitch is bounced.
Well, Bridgewater trying to keep the Indian alive, going to go on and play at Upper Iowa next season. Would like to continue her high school career here with a base hit.
The 2-1. Hit towards the middle, and it's going to be a base hit out of the reach of Braniff. Palmer gloves it, throws it back in. Not done yet are the Lynx.
Pounds that into the ground and has enough steam behind it to get through the middle. Keep the lineup moving, and that needs to be the mindset of this North Linn team.
Caitlin Sommerfeld, ground ball off Ross's glove, and everybody's going to be safe.
think Ross maybe, it was kind of a short hop, but I think Ross maybe pulled her eyes off of that ball as it took a hop kind of to the heel of her glove. She could not field it cleanly.
Lecker calms the team down. Coach Moses stays in the dugout. That's senior leadership there. Hey, ladies, we just need an out, and we get to celebrate.
Can't let the nerves settle in right now. You've got to be on your toes. Make sure you knock everything down. You've got a powerful hitter up. That one swing could change the tone of this game.
Abby Flanagan bats. First pitch, low. Abby Flanagan trying to keep this game going, keep the line moving. They trail 5. They need base runners and hits. They're down to their last out. The 0-1, or the 1-0 is a called strike, and it's now even.
This is a situation where I make the defense make the play, so you have to be aggressive.
Swung on, fouled off, just got a piece of it. And the Lynx are down to their final strike.
Now you have to protect at the plate.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
The 1-2. High.
Boy, that is good discipline, staying off of that one. That was letter high, and it was in tight a little bit, but that took a lot to lay off of that pitch.
2-2. Hit towards Dutcher. It's a race for the bag. She tags Flanagan. Release the Dogs. Ogden, they're state champions in Class 2A with a 6-1 win in 2020. It wasn't easy, Laura, at the end. Dutcher thought she was going to crawl to the bag. Instead, she just ran right into Abby Flanagan and let the celebration begin.
I think nerves kind of hit the Bulldogs a little bit. They had a few miscues in that inning, but they were able to overcome it, get that final out, and celebrate.
Class 2A All-Tournament team from Ogden, Reagan Church. From North Linn, Hannah Bridgewater. From Ogden, Gabby Ross. From North Linn, Grace Flanagan. From Northeast, Nevaeh Hildebrandt. From Louisa Muscatine, Haley Sanders. From Louisa Muscatine, McKenna Hohenadel. From Ogden, Lauren Kennedy. From North Linn, Caitlin Sommerfelt. From North Linn, Abby Flanagan. And your Class 2A All-Tournament team captain, from Ogden, Denali Lecker.
It was going to be a battle for cheers. as they pitch and as they hit. And Lecker got the best at the hitting. And she wasn't too bad at pitching either.
No, here's her pitching line. The 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run, no earned runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. But her line at the plate, 2 for 3 with a solo home run, an RBI, a double, and 1 intentional walk.
Oh, I'm just receiving word that home run has finally landed.
Has it?
Okay.
I hope it's not in the middle of my car.
Yeah, no, that's a team with a lot of experience there. The Louisa Muscatine players who'd been at the state title game before, as well as North Linn.
In addition to receiving medallions, every participating player will receive a commemorative softball provided by Iowa Farm Bureau, title sponsor of the Girls Athletic Union. Presenting awards are members of the IGHSAU Board of Directors, Jim Beamer, Travis Fleshner, Roger Francis, and Ron Fodness. Congratulations to the runners-up in Class 2A head coach Marv Porter and the North Linn Lynx on an outstanding 2020 softball season. And your 2020 Class 2A state softball champions, head coach Mike Moses and the Bulldogs from Ogden.
The first team championship for any sport at Ogden, and it comes on the softball field, Laura, and they came from behind in the semifinal. They're down 4 runs, and here they are hoisting the trophy.
It was a complete game from the entire team of Ogden. They did everything that they needed to do, flawless on defense, got the timely hits, and a great pitching performance from Denali Lecker.
That's how it ends. The Ogden Bulldogs, in their first title game, they're 1 for 1. They scored early in the second and poured it on as the game went on. Ogden Bulldogs, you are the 2020 2A champions. 2 games down, 1 game to go. Another opportunity for a repeat. When we come back, this is Iowa PBS. Funding provided by Fairway Meat and Grocery is a proud sponsor of the Iowa Girls State Softball Championships. Fairway believes in supporting the places Iowans learn, work, live, and play. Congratulations to all the schools and student athletes in this year's games. By Musco Lighting, the sports lighting specialists, providing lighting systems for you, your project, and your community.